If you want to get rich, you need to completely change how you think about money. Most people are drowning financially because they're following the same broken advice that keeps them chained to a paycheck. Today, I'm going to share 4 powerful lessons that transformed how one guy approached his finances, and they might just change your life too. The Boots Theory of Financial Inequality. Eric was barely scraping by on his factory job paycheck. He thought he was being smart by buying the cheapest stuff possible, but one purchase changed his entire perspective. For years, Eric bought cheap $25 work shoes that fell apart after just 1 year of use. Meanwhile, his boss, a wealthy man, wore the same leather shoes to work for 3 straight years. One day, Eric checked the price of his boss's shoes, $75. Do the math. While his boss spent $75 once, Eric had already blown $75 on 3 pairs of crappy shoes. His boss wasn't just walking around in nicer, more comfortable footwear. He was actually saving money by spending more. Some people would see this as proof that rich people have it easier, but Eric saw it differently. He realized that cheaper isn't about the price tag. It's about how much something costs you over its entire lifetime. If I buy a $200 bike that breaks after 2 years, it costs me $100 per year. But if I buy a $500 bike that lasts 10 years, it costs just $50 per year. The more expensive bike is literally half the price in the long run. This isn't just about shoes or bikes. Think about it. The cheap $15 headphones you replace every few months versus the $100 pair that lasts years. The $200 printer that constantly needs new cartridges versus the $400 one with refillable tanks. The $10 phone charger you replace monthly versus the $30 one that lasts forever. Poor people stay poor partly because they can't afford to save money by buying quality. But once you understand this principle, you can start breaking the cycle. Start saving for quality items that matter most in your daily life. And here's the thing most people miss. This applies to everything in your life. The cheap apartment that costs you hours in commute time, the crappy car that breaks down and makes you late to work, the low-quality food that affects your health and energy. Most people are saving pennies while bleeding dollars. They celebrate the $5 coupon while wasting hundreds on crap that breaks. Stop it. Quality over quantity. The second lesson hit Eric when the employees were invited to dinner at the boss's house. He expected a mansion packed with luxury items and expensive crap everywhere. What shocked him instead was how few things the boss actually owned. Compared to his friends' and parents' houses, the place was practically minimalist. It bugged him so much that he straight up asked his boss about it. The answer was simple. We don't have things we don't use. The boss's family didn't drink coffee, so no coffee machine. They didn't watch TV, so no television. But the boss loved vintage music, so he had an excellent record player and a massive vinyl collection. Everything has its place and purpose, the boss explained. It's not just practical. It's saved me thousands over the years on pointless crap that wouldn't add any real value to my life. Look around your place right now. How much useless junk do you own? The exercise equipment gathering dust, the kitchen gadgets still in boxes, the streaming services you barely watch, the clothes with tags still on them. Now think about how much money you've wasted. It's probably thousands of dollars sitting there doing nothing for you. Rich people understand that real wealth isn't about having more stuff. It's about having only the right stuff. Items that either bring genuine joy to your life, serve a valuable function, appreciate in value over time. Everything else is just dead weight dragging you down. Your home shouldn't be a storage unit for impulse purchases. Next time, before you buy something, ask yourself, will I actually use this regularly? If not, keep your money. Your future self will thank you. Time versus money. The third lesson came from Eric's coworker, Mike. While waiting for the bus after work, Mike quickly ordered some printer paper online. After 10 minutes, he put his phone away saying, "Done." Eric was confused. He often stayed up late comparing prices across different stores, sometimes saving a few bucks. So he asked Mike why he didn't shop around for better deals. Mike's answer was eye-opening. "I have trusted sites where I always buy, and even if I could find a better price somewhere else, I'd rather save time than money. I spend my evenings learning English and studying leadership because I don't want to work on the production line my whole life." A few months later, a position opened in the Foreign Relations Department. Guess who got the job? Mike was the only one out of 15 guys who could communicate in English. The boss's choice was obvious. Sometimes it's better to save time than money, as long as you use that time for something productive. This is where most people screw up. They save time by ordering takeout instead of cooking, but then waste that saved time scrolling through social media. They pay for convenience, but don't invest the time they've purchased. Your time is your most valuable asset, and it's the one thing you can never get more of. Every minute you spend comparison shopping to save $3 is a minute you could spend learning a skill that might earn you thousands. Think about it this way. If your goal is to make an extra $50,000 per year, is it smarter to spend 5 hours a week trying to save $20 on groceries? Spend those same 5 hours learning skills that could land you a better job or start a side business. The math isn't even close. Poor people optimize for saving pennies. Rich people optimize for earning dollars. Eric got the message. He started studying during his free time because he also didn't want to grow old doing the same job forever. 2 years later, he moved up to a better position, doubling his salary in the process. The opportunity cost mindset. The fourth lesson wasn't something Eric learned from others. It was something he discovered on his own after applying the first 3 lessons. Eric had been saving money by buying quality items, owning fewer things, and investing his time wisely. After 6 months, he had built up a small emergency fund for the first time in his life, $1,500. That's when he noticed something at work. The company was selling off some old equipment, including a specialized tool that cost $1,200. Eric knew from his research that this particular model usually sold for at least $3,000 on the secondhand market. His first instinct was fear. I can't spend my emergency fund on this. But then he realized something critical. There's a difference between spending and investing. Spending is when money leaves your life forever. Investing is when money leaves your pocket temporarily to return multiplied. Eric bought the equipment, cleaned it up, took proper photos, and sold it online for $2,800 within 2 weeks. He nearly tripled his money in 14 days. This is the opportunity cost mindset, understanding that saying no to one thing is saying yes to something else. When you spend $5 on a coffee, you're not just spending $5, you're saying no to having that $5 grow into something more. Let's say you invest $5 per day instead of buying coffee. That's $1,825 per year. At a modest 7% return, that would be around $180,000 after 30 years. That daily coffee actually costs you $180,000 in opportunity cost. Rich people constantly ask, what's the opportunity cost of this purchase? Poor people only ask, can I afford this right now? Most people miss opportunities every single day because they've trained themselves to think short term. They keep their money in a savings account, earning 0.01% interest, while inflation eats away its value. Instead of investing it somewhere, it could actually grow. Eric started looking for opportunities everywhere. He offered to help colleagues with English practice for a small fee. He bought damaged items, fixed them, and resold them. He learned to negotiate better rates on everything from rent to phone plans. Within 3 years, Eric had built a side business that eventually earned more than his day job. The real lesson. What Eric's story really teaches us is to question everything you do. He wouldn't have learned anything without his curiosity and willingness to change. He realized that his habits weren't always what was best for him or his wallet. The key is being open to change. Most people will never escape financial mediocrity because they're not willing to admit that their current approach isn't working. They'd rather feel comfortable than get uncomfortable and grow. Think about which of these 4 lessons hits you the hardest. Buy quality items that save you money long term. Own fewer things, but make sure they truly add value. Value your time more than small amounts of money. Understand opportunity cost and invest rather than just spend. If you're honest with yourself, you know exactly which area is holding you back right now. The question is, what are you going to do about it? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over while expecting different results. If you keep managing your money the same way, you'll keep getting the same financial results. Change your money mindset, change your life. Until next time, stop buying cheap crap, own less junk, invest in yourself, and never stop looking for opportunities.